Welcome back, students. In this video we are going to talk about the nucleus, the structure of nucleus, what are the various functions of the nucleus and how was it discovered and how does it regulate the various activities of the cell, or what is the significance of nucleus. So talking about the nucleus, it was very first discovered by Robert Brown. Robert Brown was the very first one, or the scientist who was able to discover the nucleus for the very first time. When we are talking about the structure of the nucleus, we should first look at the diagram of the nucleus. So here is the diagram of the nucleus. So this is the structure of the nucleus, and we can very well see it over here that it is a double membrane structure. That is, it is composed of two membranes, that is the outer membrane and the inner membrane. Both these membranes constitute the nuclear membrane, which makes it a double membrane structure. But this membrane, as you can see, it is not a continuous membrane. It is having certain gaps at certain intervals of the time, and these gaps, they are said to be the nuclear pores. These nuclear pores, they hold a very significant position in the nuclear envelope, since these are the sites, or these are the places through which the exchange of the material between the nucleus and the cell cytoplasm takes place. That is, the varied metabolites, they are exchanged between the cell cytoplasm and the nucleus. Many of the things that are synthesized, or many of the parts that are synthesized within the nucleus, for example mRNA, it is after being synthesized, it is being transported through these nuclear pore to the outside, that is in the cell cytoplasm, so that it can perform its functions over there. So these nuclear pore, they hold a very significant position in the structure of the nucleus. Nuclear pores plays a very important role, since they serve as sites for exchange of material between nucleus and cytoplasm. Next thing, as you can see that this is a dense granular body which is known as the nucleolus. It is having a very significant function, but it's not given in your NCERT, and I hope that it's not included in a course. So we are going to move ahead. These thread-like structures which are seen, they are the chromosomes. structures called chromosomes serves as hereditary vehicles. Basically, these chromosomes, these are not present in the undividing cells in such condensed condition, means in the non-dividing cells or in the normal cells we cannot see the chromosomes in such a condensed form or such thread-like structures. These are present as long thread-like structures which forms a meshwork or a network, and due to which they become very thin and they are indistinguishable from the rest of the cytoplasm. But when the cell is going to divide, then these long chromatin fibers, they condense, and due to condensation they become very thick, as a result of which they become visible as thread-like structures. And here I said that these thread-like structures, which are called as the chromosomes, serves as the hereditary vehicles. That means they serve to transfer the genetic information from one cell to another cell, or from the parental generation to the offsprings, or from one generation to the other generation, and hence a name is given to them that these are the hereditary vehicles. So why I said that these are hereditary vehicles? Again, to explain it in broader terms, these thread-like structures or these chromosomes, as I said, they are having certain structures which are said to be the DNAs. DNA, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. This is the genetic material which is present in majority of the living organism, DNA. This DNA forms a very short segment of the chromosomes, and here on the DNA itself are present a large number of sequences which are said to be the genes. These genes are the basic sites or the specific sites which control, which regulate each and every function of the cell that is taking place. That is, all the metabolic reactions, all the physical and physiological activities that are taking place within your body, your developmental pattern, your growth pattern, your differentiation pattern, everything that is taking place within the body takes place under the regulation or under the control of the genes. That is, how is the color of your skin going to be, how your eyes are going to be, whether they are going to be big, whether they are going to be small, what is the color of your eyes going to be, how is your nose going to be, whether it is going to be thin, whether it is going to be whatever you want to say, what is going to be the texture of your hair, what is going to be your height, whether you are going to be short statured or you are going to be long, or how is your metabolism going to take place, what kind of a person you are going to be, that means what will be your behavior and everything, what will be your memory, whatever you can say. All these things, that is your physical, your behavioral, all your patterns are controlled by the genes. What is the position of the ears in human beings, what is the position of the eyes in the human beings, and so on. So these are very specific, and they are present in all these informations. These are stored in certain loci which are said to be the genes, and these genes, they are present on the DNA, and this DNA, it is very much present on the chromosomes. So here we say that the chromosomes, they serve as the hereditary vehicles. After saying this, again coming back to the genes, whenever the cells, they divide, then what happens? The copy of such genetic information is shared from the parental cell that has divided to the daughter cells that have newly been formed. So this genetic information is shared from one cell to another cell and from the parents to their offspring. This is how genetic information is being transferred from parents to the offsprings. Offsprings means the children, the next generation that is coming to be. That is the very basic reason that you people share very much characters in resemblance to with your parents. That is, you very much look like your parents. Some of you might be identical in certain aspects, like some of you are going to share that your eyes are resembling your mother, your hair are resembling your father, and so on. So these are all the things which are controlled by the genes. So these genes are present on the DNA, and DNA is itself present on the chromosomes. And these chromosomes, when the cell are being divided, they serve as a hereditary vehicles so that they can transfer this genetic information from one cell to another cell, or from the parental cell to the next generation. So this is all. And next, what is left apart is the fluid matrix, which is known as the nucleoplasm. This nucleoplasm, it is very much isolated through the nuclear membrane from the rest part of the cell cytoplasm. So this is all about the nucleus, and this is all about the functions of the nucleus. And depending upon the type of the nucleus, that is, this is a very well organized nucleus, and this type of nucleus is only present in the eukaryotic cells. That is, in majority of the living organisms, this type of nucleus is found. So we have already discussed about the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells in our very first video, starting with the chapter. And now I am not going to talk about very much in detail, because there I have given you all the differentiation, and I already have explained you what are the eukaryotic cells and what are the prokaryotic cells. Now talking about the cell cytoplasm. Now whenever we stain the cell with the help of either safranin or acetocarmine or methyl iodine or whatever, the various type of the stains that are used for describing a cell, we see that certain part of the cell gets very lightly stained, and that very part is known as the cell cytoplasm. Already in our previous videos, I have told you what the cell cytoplasm is. It is a fluid matrix which is made up of various component parts, like it is made up of it is a fluid matrix, and it is made up of the plasma portion as well as the cell organelles. When I am talking about the plasma portion itself is consisting of a large amount of water, various type of electrolytes, dissolved proteins, salts, ions, minerals, and various kinds of nutrients. And when I am talking about the cell organelles, again I have told you all that cell organelles can be of any type, that is, they can be membrane bounded, non-membrane bounded, or single membrane bounded, or double membrane bounded, and I have already given you the chart. And all these cell organelles, they can be categorized under these following headings. Some of the examples of the cell organelles are the endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER, the Golgi apparatus, or we can call them the Golgi body or the Golgi complex, anything you can say, lysosomes, ribosomes, etc., etc. So these are the component parts of the cell which we are going to talk about in detail in our next video. Thank you.